this Cybertruck, $100,000 for a Cybertruck. That I have a Maverick. Okay, apparently this does not have the payload of a Maverick, which fits in a small parking spot on any urban street in this country. I checked, and the durability of the metal is not there.
Given the price point, given the design, given the capability of the vehicle and what it's designed for, it's going for the urban market, particularly those urban markets that are into electric vehicles. Southern California, Oregon, Washington, the coasts. You're not going to see the Cybertruck in big numbers in Kansas City, St. Louis. I mean, it's just not going to sell there.
And in today's episode of The Muppet Show, some excellent comments that will age exceptionally well from some of the folks on CNBS.
Phil, let me posit something to you. You know, there was a lot of people. There was a twin blow against Ford. There was obviously the union. People didn't like the quarter. But then there was also this Tesla, this Cybertruck. $100,000 for a Cybertruck. That I have a Maverick. Okay, apparently this does not have the payload of a Maverick, which fits in a small parking spot on any urban street in this country.
So, Dim Cramer has just said that apparently, which is a nice little get out of jail card, isn't it? Apparently, allegedly, supposedly, rumors have it that, as opposed to actually knowing, apparently the Cybertruck has less payload, as in can't carry as much shit as a Ford Maverick. Now, in completely unrelated matters, last I recall, Jim Cramer's charitable trust, the single largest position in said charitable trust, happens to be Ford stock. But of course, that wouldn't create a conflict of interest. And this isn't the same guy who, after really hitting the slopes hard... Oh, and if you're wondering why I just started sniffling and touching my face and didn't understand exactly what I meant by hitting the slopes hard, it's probably better you don't understand. But after going skiing big time, happened to disclose his short and distort techniques from back in the day and how to manipulate the stock market, and then also, while explaining that, said I'd never say this on television because Jim was doing an interview on the internet. This was mid to late 90s. I don't think he realised the internet would be as big as it would grow to in the future. By the way, if you guys are curious, I'll put a card in the corner. How hedge funds manipulate stocks. Jim Cramer literally explaining how he and others allegedly manipulated stocks in the past. So I don't know why I'm explaining this in his Ford position, because it's not like the guy knows how to manipulate stocks through the media. Anyway, so in completely unrelated matters, I think what I'm trying to say is Jim Cramer is definitely unbiased, very reasonable and rational when discussing Tesla. He doesn't see Cybertruck as a threat, and he would never, not in a million years, even imagine making statements with the intent of potentially influencing the decisions of investors in the marketplace as it relates to Tesla and or Ford stock. But I did just want to fact check his statement regarding the Maverick and the Cybertruck and the payloads, because apparently, sounds like a bit of fomenting again. If you haven't seen that Jim Cramer video, I highly recommend it. Card in the corner. Sounds like a bit of fomenting here. Let's check the data, the facts, which don't care about apparentlys. They actually care about reality. Currently reading directly from the Cybertruck page on Tesla's website, with up to 3,500 pounds of payload capacity. So keep that number in mind. Obviously, the specs are subject to change. We'll know soon the actual final production specs, but it's going to be somewhere in this vicinity. 3,500 pounds of payload capacity. I wonder if the Ford Maverick is at least, let's say, 4,000 pounds. Maybe be generous and call it maybe 3,600. Worst case, let's find out. Now, apologies in advance for this absolute clusterfuck of a PDF. I mean, can I just take a moment? If there's any designers in the house, what an absolute abomination, bro. Holy fuck. Absolute trash. Now, I'm sure the designers didn't really have much of a say in this. The morons above them, you need to put all this information on this page. Bro, what an absolute joke. It's like, where's Waldo? I had to use the search function to find this, believe it or not. With available 4,000 pounds of... Well, wait, that's the towing capacity. 1,500 pounds of payload capacity. Now, is 1,500 pounds less than 3,500 pounds? I'm not very good at math. Could you guys let me know in the comments below? That'd be nice, thanks. Yeah, so anyway, I think what I was trying to say is Jim Cramer, and this information he's disclosed that he apparently heard somewhere, apparently, nice little get out of jail card there. Jim Cramer obviously believes what he said and meant that, and truly believes that the Cybertruck has significantly less payload capacity than the Ford Maverick, which he owns. Speaking of Ford, doesn't he own some Ford? Oh wait, let's not go there. So, good job, Jim. No misinformation there, no lying, no misleading, no manipulation of potential stock prices. Let's move on.
I checked, and the durability of the metal is not there.
Now, this is a bridge too far, Jim. I can understand you here. Apparently, the payload, well, apparently Jim has also checked, and the durability of the metal, the stainless steel, is not there. Again, a bit of a get out of jail card. Oh, is not there. What does that really mean? Technically, Jim, what did that mean? He didn't really say that it's not durable. I mean, if you know, you know, but just in case you don't know, I mean, seriously, stainless steel is very tough, and even lightweight stainless steel won't buckle under great weight, making it one of the most durable metals on the market. It can endure weight, hot and cold temperatures, as well as weather extremes. One more time, stainless steel is one of the most durable metals on the market. And spoiler alert, metals are a lot more durable than what an F-150 or a Maverick is currently made out of. Okay, again, I mean, I hate to rub it in here, Jim, but stainless steel is an extremely tough and highly durable material with high impact resistance. So clearly, Jim certainly did check, and the durability is there. I think he must have misspoke when he said isn't there and really meant to say is there. Oh, and you guys did see the whole Arrow and the Cybertruck, right? Yeah? You didn't miss that, did you? Just on the odd chance that anyone happened to miss this, makes you one of the few humans on Earth who hasn't seen. Elon Musk recently did a podcast with Joe Rogan in Austin, Texas, and during the discussion, Joe had the idea of firing his ridiculous bow and arrow into the side of a Cybertruck to see what would happen. You know, this is a great example of the durability of the steel exoskeleton happening in real time. I'm going to shut up now and let Joe fire the arrow. Watch. Bam. Now, I wonder what happened after that arrow caused a huge number of sparks to fly off the side of the Cybertruck. A tiny, tiny, tiny little dimple. Almost nothing happens to the exoskeleton. Meanwhile, arrowhead obliterated, arrow completely detached from the head, and the tip of the arrow itself bent. So, Cybertruck 1, bow and arrow 0. Clearly, Jim Cramer is definitely well informed and obviously isn't trying to distort any stocks. Just an accident, he misspoke, and what he really did mean to say was that the durability of the metal is there. Moving on.
I wonder whether this man can sell even 50,000 of the 200,000 Cybertrucks.
Now, if I were a little more cynical, I might suggest that Jim Cramer is a master manipulator, which is why rather than him saying there's no way they'll sell 200,000, what he's instead saying, indirectly, is I wonder if they'll sell more than 50,000, saying without saying that they're probably going to fall catastrophically short of their production target of 200,000 Cybertrucks per year, maybe get to 50,000. Yet he didn't actually say that. He just said, I wonder if. Like if I were to say, I wonder if Jim Cramer right now is trying to manipulate Ford and Tesla stock to his audience. I wonder if he's doing that. But of course he wouldn't be. I'm just saying that, well, I'm wondering if he is. But obviously he isn't. See how I didn't say that he is? Because I just wondered if he is? Exactly. 2 can play at that game, Jim. So, Jim wonders if even 50,000 Cybertrucks will sell per year. I wonder if Jim knows that there's already over 2 million reservations for Tesla's Cybertruck. Is anyone good at math? 2 million divided by 50,000 is 40. 40 years. That is how long it would take Tesla to get through their current Cybertruck reservation backlog if they were producing and selling 50,000 per year. One more time. 40 years. That is longer than most people watching this YouTube channel have been alive. I wonder if Jim Cramer is wondering or manipulating. I'm just kidding. He's obviously just genuinely wondering. He would never even consider trying to manipulate stock prices. And that historical video in which he admits to literally doing that, allegedly, is a deep fake, a very convincing one.
And this may be Ford's era after all of the Sturm and Drang about Sean Fain and how he took it to farm.
Jim's a very smart guy. Probably has a higher IQ than almost everyone watching. Did you notice that he says this may be Ford's era? May? Well, I think this may be Tesla's era, and I think that Ford may be in trouble. But I am just some guy on the internet, and obviously I don't wear a suit, so you can't trust me, and I sometimes swear, and I may or may not occasionally consume things that alter my state of consciousness and record videos having done so. Therefore, don't pay attention to anything I have to say. You should trust Jim. He's got a suit on, and he's on CNBS. I still live in my mum's basement, which admittedly has some pretty good views. Thanks, Mum.
I will say with this regard to the Cybertruck, and we should see the first ones delivered at the end of this month. At least that's the plan from Tesla at this point. It's going to be a slow ramp up in production. They're not even going to get up to where they would consider full production until well into 2025.
This is accurate and obvious, although sometimes obvious things aren't obvious, hence the reaction of many analysts when Elon Musk pointed out the obvious on Tesla's Q3 earnings call recently, going, oh yeah, it's going to be very difficult to ramp up Cybertruck because it's a brand new production system for a brand new product that's never been done before. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Elon Musk says something that's extremely obvious if you only think about it, and apparently, based on many of the reactions, people hadn't thought about it. But hello, stainless steel exoskeleton, no one's done it before. It's a revolutionary product. They just can't copy somebody else, right? Tesla can't look to the industry and go, well, how do you put together a vehicle with a stainless steel exoskeleton and a gigantic, 9,000 pound casting? How do you do that? They can't copy and then innovate from there. They have to invent the entire manufacturing system. So it's going to be brutal. It could take Tesla years to ramp up just to 200,000 or so Cybertrucks per year. Who knows? So Phil's right. It's going to be very slow. A brutal ramp. Production hell, part 2. The difference between production hell V1, that could have killed the company. This won't. The point I'm making, however, it really will be a slow and brutal process ramping up Cybertruck production. But again, we already knew this, had we only thought about it.
And I also think you should keep this in mind, given the price point, given the design, given the capability of the vehicle and what it's designed for. It's going for the urban market, particularly those urban markets that are into electric vehicles. Southern California, Oregon, Washington, the coasts. You're not going to see the Cybertruck in big numbers in Kansas City, St. Louis. I mean, it's just not going to sell there.
Now look, generally speaking, Phil LeBeau is pretty reasonable, fairly rational, and makes some good points. However, what we are seeing right now is a manifestation of small brain syndrome. This is what's happening in Phil's small brain. No offense, Phil, just facts are facts. Phil looks at this thing and goes, oh, it looks different to a traditional pickup truck. Therefore, it cannot possibly do the things a traditional pickup will do. Therefore, nobody who currently will purchase a traditional pickup truck would consider purchasing a Cybertruck because it cannot do the things that they need it to do. The end. Unfortunately for Phil, we live in reality on this channel. And in reality, the Cybertruck will do almost everything a traditional pickup truck will do, many things a pickup truck won't do, and most things better. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. You can't load the bed from the side in a Cybertruck. It doesn't fold down. There's no flat bed. And if for some reason you need a very, very long bed, which in a traditional ICE world, you'd have to buy an extended bed pickup truck, same story, it won't suit. But outside of those rare use cases, in the vast majority of other cases, the Cybertruck will do literally everything a traditional pickup truck will do. And many things a traditional pickup truck won't do. But if you happen to be a sufferer of small brain syndrome, you don't think that deeply. You immediately assume it looks different, therefore it can't do what the other thing does because it looks different. And I don't know how else to explain this. It's a small brain syndrome. A slightly larger brain would do the thinking required first and talk second. And this is important because many analysts on Wall Street are making the same mistake. Many retail investors are making the same mistake. Just because it looks different does not mean it cannot do things that a traditional pickup truck can do. And the hubris, the arrogance of folks like Phil to make these assertions without having any idea what they're talking about must be called out. The good news, if many people are making this mistake, and boy they are, and assuming, oh well, it looks like a doorstop, therefore it can't do pickup truck things, therefore pickup truck buyers won't be interested, and rather than looking at the data like the search trends on Google, the 2 million reservations, the interest on social media, the comments on YouTube, on X from people who own traditional pickup trucks who want a Cybertruck, the actual specifications that Tesla's released, the demonstrations Tesla's done, showing us what it can do. If many, if not most people are massively underestimating the potential impact of Cybertruck, maybe there's an opportunity there that many people are missing.
Will there be some? Yes, eventually there will be some. But I do not look at this as one, Sarah, that a vehicle that people are going to say, well, I'm not driving the Chevy Silverado or F-150 anymore. I'm driving the Cybertruck. I just don't see that happening.
Now, look, in fairness to Phil, he is an expert in the automotive industry and the talking head on CNBS. Great mix for understanding Tesla, right? You know what they said about Tesla's Model S and X, right? You know what they said about 3, right? You know what they said about Y, right? You probably don't remember. I do. They were wrong, and wrong. Oh, and what's the world's best-selling vehicle of any kind, 2023? Oh, that's the one that they said no one would want to buy, and that people would prefer to buy BMWs and Mercedes and Audis when the competition came and killed Tesla. And it's now killing the so-called competition. And they also thought the so-called competition was luxury automotive manufacturers, not the likes of Toyota, which is now being crushed by Tesla's Model Y. So what I'm trying to say is obviously this time is different and they're definitely going to be right and their assumptions about Cybertruck will be spot on. I don't know what I'm talking about and nobody on earth who needs a pickup truck to do pickup truck things would ever even consider buying a Tesla Cybertruck. It's just for people in California who care about the environment and want to drive something that looks like a doorstop, obviously. I mean, after all, the folks on CNBS do have a great track record, especially on Tesla, especially Jim Cramer.
You know what? I'm not sure that this is a smart investment. Our own Jim Cramer yesterday said, I'm not sure that Tesla has a business plan that's going to work. It's not a smart investment. What do you say to the skeptics who look at where Tesla is, the money that you're raising, and they say, you know what? They've got a nice roadster, but they don't have a good business plan.
Well, I think, Jim, I'd say, yeah, sure, Jim, we're no Bear Stearns, but I think we're going to do okay. Jim, I think, recommended Bear Stearns and Lehman and other things. So, frankly, he's a contraindicator.
So just a bit of context, that was 2010, 13 years ago. Phil LeBeau, not sure that Tesla stock at its IPO was a great investment. Jim Cramer, very negative on the stock. Around that same time, he famously said, I wouldn't buy Tesla stock. I wouldn't even rent the stock. Split adjusted, it was about $1.20 when he made that call. What's it now? 200 and something? Yeah, okay, interesting. Good call, Jim. But to Elon's comments about Bear Stearns in particular and Lehman Brothers, just in case you guys maybe weren't even alive when this took place, let's rewind the clock to see what Jim Cramer had to tell his audience of very intelligent investors.
Okay, Peter writes, should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money out. This is really, look, if there's one takeaway other than a plus 400 somewhere, Bear Stearns is not in trouble. I mean, if anything, they're more likely to be taken over. Don't move your money from Bear. That's just being silly. Don't be silly.
Okay, just so you get a sense of what's causing the agony by this point, I know you've been talking about it. It's financials led by Bear Stearns after what essentially is a bailout from the Fed. Bear Stearns shares are down 90% this morning, and it's not just Bear. Pretty much every single bank is plunging in early trade this morning. Lehman, which is very similar to Bear and its reliance on fixed income, is down nearly 30%. You have big names like Goldman Sachs down 8%, Citigroup down 8%. So it is pain across the board this morning, and as you know, it all emanates from the shock this weekend that J.P. Morgan, along with the Fed, was going to be bailing out Bear Stearns for $2 a share. This is a stock that recently was trading at 80. Last year was trading at 160. It is the fifth biggest bank on Wall Street. It is significant in that it is establishing a price for some of these hard-to-value securities, and as you are well aware, that price is pretty much zero.
You know what else is worth approximately zero? Jim Cramer's opinion, in my opinion. Of course, in Jim's defense. He does have an opinion about almost everything, so he's going to be wrong a lot, and I think that's the point. But, of course, in this case, it's different. Tesla will definitely never sell more than about 50,000 Cybertrucks per year. The stainless steel isn't durable. The Cybertruck's payload, or more than double that of the Ford Maverick, is less than the Ford Maverick because that's how math works, apparently. It's going to be the era of Ford. Oh, and the fact that Jim and his charitable trust have a very large position. I think it is the largest single position in the charitable trust in Ford stock. It's got nothing to do with anything, and Jim's unbiased. And plus, he doesn't have a history of manipulating stocks. In fact, he's never explained how he used to do it in his hedge fund, and that video is just a deep fake. So, yeah, I think you should definitely pay attention to everything Jim said in his video. He'll be right, I'll be wrong, and I'll see you in a few years to admit when I was wrong and Jim was right. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.